Hello everyone, and welcome to my BTG official channel. Vanessa gets a nasty shock after Leslie hands out threats like Halloween candy. Ted follows up with Chelsea and Samantha, who are chatting about the purse line's incredible success while seated at the restaurant counter. Ted is horrified to learn that he has been flirting with Sam's birth mother, and Samantha is obviously overjoyed. Nicole, whom Leslie subsequently meets, says that the former Dana spreads lies just as easily as she does herself. Well, you know. Leslie says, if you don't get a short leash on your little cat, there will be trouble, as the scene comes to a close. Whatever you throw, it will come back sharpened, Nicole counters. Will the baby be born to Naomi? Naomi interrupts Danny and Andre as they are still discussing the get-out-of-wedlock-free card she gave Andre. Danny assumes her daughter is pregnant after her new stepdad leaves, but Naomi disputes this. Danny demonstrates that nothing could be further from the truth when Naomi implies that she and Chelsea destroyed their mother's life. Danny is completely on board with Naomi's explanation of her reasons for not wanting a child. The serious mother asserts, wanting a child-free life does not make you a monster. Both ladies are aware that they must make important choices regarding their relationships. Vanessa is shocked by Joey. Nicole questions Vanessa about why she's letting Joey bother her during brunch at the club. Vanessa maintains that Nicole must embrace Joey's presence in her life if she wishes to stay her friend. Meanwhile, Donnell tells Joey that Vanessa no longer requires his help as he walks inside the casino's private area, which is presumably open to everybody. Why? Because the younger man intends to remain. Joey and Doug's son continue to become closer, and Joey even offers him a job as a dealer. Because he doesn't want to work where his father spent his final, fateful night, Donnell declines the opportunity. He even inquires as to whether Joey ever feels remorse for running what is essentially a house of evil. Vanessa soon shows up to visit her lover, who declares it's time for them to break up. Ashley asks Derek's PT coach to be a bridesmaid, which excites Shanice. Ashley and Andre are reunited with the mother whose baby they delivered in the lift, despite Shanice's advice to Derek to be honest with his prospective wife about his incomplete recovery. When almost everyone, with the exception of Derek, realizes that Ashley isn't that into him, the whole situation becomes quite awkward. Chelsea informs Samantha that the demand for Chelsea cat bags is outpacing their supply. Leslie problems are dangerous. Start spreading the news as a resident. Leslie concludes by stating that June will be the target of the threat. June may advise the waitress to take her hands off Teddy Bear because she has a crush on Ted Richardson and Leslie is still completely enamored with him. However, June might give Leslie the wrong order at the diner by accident, and Leslie goes crazy because she can be unhinged. Leslie had always been known for her sharp tongue, but lately, that tongue had turned into a weapon. Once the queen of charm and subtle manipulation, she'd now traded grace for aggression, and everyone in her orbit was feeling the sting. It was as if she'd reached a breaking point, a moment where pretending no longer suited her. Her threats came fast and casual, tossed out like candy on Halloween night, bright, tempting, but wrapped around something that could rot your soul. The shift in her tone was enough to chill even her closest friends, and the whispers around town had grown louder, Leslie's losing it. But those who really knew her understood, Leslie didn't lose control. She chose when to unleash it. It started small, with a few well-placed words to June at the cafe. June, the woman everyone once called timid, had become an unexpected force lately, standing up for herself and refusing to be bullied. But Leslie couldn't stand seeing someone she once toyed with now standing tall. So, she cornered June, smiling that familiar icy smile. You should really watch your step, sweetheart, she purred, stirring her coffee with lazy precision. People who walk too tall usually fall harder. June, to her credit, didn't flinch. She looked Leslie dead in the eyes and replied, then I guess I'll make sure I land on my feet. The cafe had gone silent. Everyone knew Leslie wasn't used to being challenged, and the quiet fury in her eyes said everything, she would not let this slide. From that moment, the whole town became Leslie's stage. Every conversation dripped with tension, every interaction laced with warning. She called out betrayals that hadn't even happened yet, predicting people's next moves like a psychic reading a cursed deck of cards. Even her so-called friends started keeping their distance, afraid of becoming her next target. Danny tried to mediate, telling Leslie she was going too far, but Leslie only laughed, tossing her hair over her shoulder. Too far? Danny, sweetie, that's how I get results. Her voice was velvet and venom all at once, soft, but deadly. And that's when everyone realized, Leslie wasn't just angry. She was strategizing. Behind that mask of fury was something deeper, fear. She'd built her world on control, on knowing everyone's secrets and keeping them tied up in pretty little knots. But lately, people were slipping through her fingers. Andre had distanced himself after seeing how ruthless she could be, and Joey, once her most loyal ally, had started pulling away too, haunted by guilt and secrets Leslie had helped him bury. She could feel the ground shifting beneath her heels. Power was slipping away, and she would do anything, to keep it. Threats became her language of survival. She didn't just lash out to hurt, she lashed out to hold on. But the more she threatened, the more people began to see through her. The whispers turned into defiance. Vanessa, who had once tiptoed around Leslie's moods, finally snapped. "You think people are scared of you, Leslie?" she said one evening after Leslie's latest tirade. "They're just tired. Tired of pretending you're the queen of something that's already crumbling." The room went still. For the first time, Leslie's face faltered, just for a heartbeat, before she recovered with a bitter laugh. "Crumbled or not, I still wear the crown, darling." But her voice shook slightly, and Vanessa saw it, that flash of vulnerability, quickly buried under arrogance. Leslie wasn't used to people talking back. She wasn't used to being seen. Still, Leslie refused to back down. She doubled down on her threats, her manipulations, her desperate attempts to stay in control. When word spread that Derek had uncovered a secret involving Joey, something that could turn the whole town upside down, Leslie was the first to act. She confronted Derek in the hallway of the courthouse, heels clicking like gunshots on marble floors. "You don't want to do this," she said, eyes narrowing. "You think you're exposing him, but you're really destroying yourself." Derek, normally composed, actually took a step back. Her words hit like bullets, precise, cruel, and calculated. But the problem with threatening everyone is that eventually, people stop running. They start fighting back. And they did. June, Vanessa, and even Danny began comparing notes, realizing how Leslie had pitted them all against one another for years. Every rumor, every betrayal, every half-truth had Leslie's fingerprints on it. The facade of power she had built was cracking, but Leslie refused to see it. "They need me," she told herself in the mirror one night, her reflection cold and unyielding. "They always need me." But even as she said it, her voice trembled. Somewhere deep down, she knew the truth, the only thing holding her power together was fear, and fear fades faster than loyalty.